Hey yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to Annie Recapped. Today we'll go through the Fruit of Evolution Season 2. Before we move on though, do subscribe to Annie Recap to find more awesome animes to watch on your feed. With that said, now let's get to the show. The season starts in a demon world where Seichi is fighting with an overpowered demon wielding his dual blades with precision as they exchange blows. Despite Seichi's initial success, he begins to tire and the demon easily evades his attacks, taunting him about his stamina. As Seichi struggles to catch his breath, the demon sees this opportunity to strike him with a quick attack that left him defenseless. He falls to the ground defeated, with the demon standing triumphantly over him. Just as she was about to finish him off, Saria appears out of nowhere, transforming into a pink gorilla and launching an attack on the demon. However, despite her best efforts, Saria's attacks do little damage to the demon and he quickly incapacitates the gorilla with ease. Devastated, Seichi moves towards Saria while her question wakes up Seichi as he realizes that he was just dreaming, even though the dream makes him hopeful about the coming fight as he has always been all-powerful during his battles. The group soon reaches the Barbados Academy, where they first visit different stalls before heading into the main campus, and as soon as they reach it, Kanazuki smells Seichi's presence and becomes hopeful to find him soon. The group reaches the principal office where Barna tells Seichi about the problems that he is facing due to the presence of heroes from the other world sent by the Kaiser Kingdom, as their outstanding abilities have put a damper between them and their relationship with other students present in the academy. Barna also tells everyone their respective roles in the academy, where Seichi and Artoria become the teachers, while Saria and Lulune will become the students and Oliga will be Seichi's assistant. As Barna tries to tell Seichi about the class he's going to teach, a teacher named Beatrice barges in and scolds the principal about his absence from the school, which has caused an overload of work for him that makes Seichi feel intimidated by Beatrice. Soon Seichi and others leave with Beatrice to get to their classes, and Beatrice's polite behavior makes Seichi feel comfortable around her. Soon Beatrice tells Seichi about her dilemma with the F-class students and that she used to be their classroom teacher before Seichi and asks Seichi to help them somehow. Despite having doubts about his teaching skills, Seichi still enters the class just to get startled by his students as there are only 4 of them, and all look towards Seichi with hostility that frightens him. Meanwhile, Crace explains his plan of attacking the Barbados Academy to the old man of Kaiser Kingdom named Helio, as he claims that a lot of negative energy is required to wake up the Great Devil when Crace gets ambushed by his people Demioros and Angrea, who claim that they will be the ones attacking the academy and they will be the ones to resurrect the Great Devil. Back at the school, one of the students named Agnos tries to frighten Seichi, but Beatrice intervenes, making Agnos terrified. He still tries to complain, so Beatrice uses her powers as his teacher to make him sit at his table. Beatrice soon explains to the class that Seichi is their new teacher, as well as Saria will be their new classmate, and also asks the class to introduce themselves. Agnos is the first to introduce himself, while Saria is the second one, as she introduces herself by transforming into a gorilla that surprises everyone. After that, another student, Brood-Lev Kaiser, introduces himself as the young Kaiser Prince, while the remaining 2 just tell their names as Helen Rosa and Baird Lutra. Elsewhere in the school, Kanazuki tries to find Seichi by depending on his nostalgic smell, but stumbles upon Sei Airi, who is also looking for Seichi. In the classroom, as Beatrice hands over students their test papers, Seichi realizes that being a teacher is going to be a lot tougher than he previously imagined. But his thoughts are interrupted when Beatrice asks Seichi to access the abilities of each of the students and asks the students to head over to the stadium. As the students move towards the training ground, they ask Saria about Seichi when she tells them that she is his wife and the others who also follow him are related to him. They get startled by this information. Meanwhile, Seichi and Beatrice visit the principal's office where Barna tells Seichi that the students from the F class are called dropouts, and Beatrice explains to Seichi that it is because they cannot use magic. Meanwhile, as the students reach the training area, their happy hour is destroyed by the student named Theobald Kaiser from the S class, who taunts them for being ridiculously weak, which triggers Agnos as he tries to fight him, but his classmate Baird stops him. After that, Theobald asks Saria to be his woman, but she instantly refuses his proposal as she claims that she is already in love with Seichi, which upset Theobald as he leaves and claims that he will take revenge on them for insulting him in the upcoming class competition, where students fight each other using their skills. At the same time, Seichi reaches there and asks the students to attack him with all of their powers, and he won't use magic at all. That angers Helen, as she volunteers to be the first one to attack Seichi, thinking that Seichi is mocking them by claiming that he will not use magic. Meanwhile, Demioros and Angrea make their way toward the Barbados Academy as they compliment each other and claim who will be the one to cause more despair to everyone at the school. At the training ground, as Helen fights with Seichi, he feels that Helen is fighting with him with extreme anger, and Helen also makes it obvious to him as she tries to land another move, but Seichi feels an unimaginable aura around him that vanishes instantly as soon as Helen moves towards him with her final move. Seichi easily counters her and catches her before she falls to the ground, but Helen punches him for doing so. After that, the other students decide to form a team before attacking Seichi and discuss their plan of attack, which doesn't bother Seichi at all. Soon they start their fight with Agnos attacking Seichi first, and the trio tries their best to land a punch on Seichi, but still, he manages to stop them and uses magic to end the battle. As the students sulk because they cannot use magic, Seichi remembers his conversation with Beatrice and decides to help the students by breaking those chains that are hindering their magic-wielding abilities. Seichi also remembers his own life before he came here and was bullied just because he was fat, and realizes that the relationship he made here has given him the strength to move forward. He uses his world vision to visualize those chains and think about breaking the chains to liberate from them, which turns out to be successful as the chains break and the students feel a sudden sense of heat within them. Helen is the first to use her magic, which startles her, but others also follow her and test their magic skills. When Brute also uses it and gets drenched in water, Seichi feels a sense of deja vu as he remembers his first time using that spell. As everyone enjoys their magic wielding experience, Beatrice also feels a sense of accomplishment that Seichi was the one that they needed. Meanwhile, Kanazuki tries to find Seichi when she comes across Artoria and realizes that she got his smell that startles Artoria, and she gets away from there. Kanazuki then visits Lululemon, who is enjoying her mealtime in the town, and Kanazuki senses that she also smells like Seichi. After some time, everyone visits the cafeteria to get some delicious food, where Kanazuki finally gets to meet Seichi, which surprises her, and she hugs him instantly in front of everyone. Meanwhile, the demon duo reaches the academy and realizes that a barrier is covering the full premises, but Angria uses her power to manipulate the guards and uses them to open the door for them, and they easily enter the academy. As Kanazuki hugs Seichi, it triggers Artoria, and she asks Seichi for an explanation. Without waiting for his clarification, she beats him up, but is stopped by Beatrice, who asks Artoria to understand that now she is a teacher. Meanwhile, Kanazuki asks Seichi about his affairs so far, which leads to a showdown battle between Artoria, Lulune, Oliga, and Saria versus Kanazuki, where Kanazuki has to accept her defeat when Saria puts the final nail when she claims that she is Seichi's wife. All of this new information makes Kanazuki faint, while Beatrice prepares a table for them so that they can have a private chat, where Kanazuki claims that she had known Seichi since childhood, and he was the one that saved her when she was being bullied as a child, and became the victim of bullying in her accord, but she couldn't protect them as they grew older, and that has put a great burden on her. Although Saria claims that she doesn't mind another person in the loop as she is happy as long as Seichi is happy, still Seichi stands up and ends up showing his true form of a little chubby boy that astonishes everyone. Seichi claims that he is not only from another world, but this is how he looks, and he isn't someone handsome that they imagined him to be. That leaves everyone speechless at first, but Saria speaks up as she shows Seichi her true form of a gorilla and claims that looks don't matter to them as it was his words that won their hearts, and they plan to follow him until the end. All of this impresses Kanazuki, and she takes her to leave as she doesn't want Seichi to be a victim of bullying again, as their group is already being bashed by other students. As she leaves, Oliga encounters her bracelet and tells Seichi about it, but when Seichi asks Kanazuki, she tells that the Kaiser government put these on them, so their stats will grow more profoundly. But as Seichi realizes that these are enslavement bracelets, it triggers him, and he let out a scream with extreme surges of power that affects not only those around him, but also others in different countries and realms. At the same time, Seichi finds himself in front of a creature who tries to engulf him, but he is saved by Saria, who manages to wake him up before the monster can do anything. Barna visits them to thank Seichi for making the heroes free from enslavement bracelets, and also claims that maybe the Kaiser Kingdom used them so they can control the heroes' will in their pursuit of world domination, which startles everyone, while Kanazuki asks Seichi if she can join his group as his elder sister, and he complies. Elsewhere in the Barbados Academy, while the two devils enjoy their leisure time, they get interrupted by Helio, who informs them that the enslavement bracelets are broken and now they cannot use the heroes for their plans. He also claims that the sudden surge which occurred just moments ago has affected the Great Devil's resurrection positively and has also resulted in increasing the Great Devil's darkness strength. The next day, as everyone prepares for the upcoming class competition, the students of F class ask Seichi to help them train, and they reach the training area where all four of them attack Seichi at once. But as Seichi tries to deflect their attacks, he feels the same numbness that he felt before while fighting Helen, but still manages to disrupt their attacks, which discourages them. But Beatrice takes the lead and claims that they have improved so much, even though they just got their powers. At the same time, Theobald enters the training ground and mocks them for their skills and also insults Helen as she is from a kingdom that is on a brink of fall, but Brute intervenes and claims that Seichi has taught them not to judge anyone and he will be the one facing Theobald during the class competition and they will settle this matter there. Soon after Theobald leaves them, Helen asks Seichi to make her stronger, which leads Seichi to train the F class till the evening of the competition. As everyone takes baths to overcome their fatigue, Beatrice also appreciates her students for improving so much under Seichi's guidelines. As Demioros and Angrea roam around the city to enjoy their leisure time, they get visited by the same demon that came in Seichi's dream to compel the duo to do their job if they don't want to get obliterated. That frightens the duo and they comply. The next day, the competition starts with the S-class facing the F-class students, where the principal Barna also claims that after this, all the harsh feelings between the two classes will not be repeated, while Seichi is absent. It turns out that Seichi is facing severe diarrhea that happened due to the food offered by Lulune. Meanwhile, the whistle rings and Brood decides to face Theobald, but their competition takes a negative turn when Barna gets entangled between magic rings that stop the flow of magic and the two demons make their appearance. Demioros uses a high-rank light magic to stop everyone from leaving the arena, as it not only deflects everyone's magic, but also consumes anyone who tries to escape. In the arena, Angrea takes the lead, and when Theobald attacks her, she easily deflects his attacks, and also uses her ability to manipulate others by patting Theobald's friends and using them to attack Theobald. Brood intervenes and saves his brother from their attack. Brood even asks Helen to support him as they won't be able to defeat them alone, and they devise a plan to attack Angrea that takes her off guard and her mask gets torn that reveals her true face. It turns out that when she was a child, she accidentally burned her face, and the mask hides her true power. Even though everyone tries to attack her, their efforts have a futile end, as Angrea attacks everyone in sight and brutally injures them by using her powers, and approaches Helen to burn her face as well, but she is stopped by Beatrice, who uses her power to break the light magic from one end and saves Helen from Angrea. Beatrice attacks Angrea, but she uses her ability to manipulate Agnos and sends him to finish off Beatrice, who doesn't attack her student and takes his blows without any remorse. Angrea then compels Agnos to say that Beatrice wasn't the one who helped the students in honing their abilities, but it was Seichi. That upsets Beatrice and she accepts her shortcoming for not being able to protect her students, even though her students claim that they admire Beatrice for being their teacher. Agnos is stopped by Beatrice as she hits him on his head, triggering his memory, and he faints, which startles Angrea, and she tries to attack Beatrice but is defeated by her using her wind power to negate her fire magic. As Angrea falls down, everyone screams in joy while they ignore Demioros, so he uses his ability to attack Barna, which takes everyone's attention, and Beatrice stops him from further harming the principal. Angrea asks Demioros to give her some power so she can keep on fighting, but Demioros refuses as he claims that Angrea isn't a true demon apostle as she doesn't have a demon ring that he possesses, which marks him as a true apostle. That makes Angrea feel pathetic and she fades into the demon eye. Demioros attacks Beatrice, and his powers turn out to be superior to that of Beatrice, as even though she uses her powers to the fullest, Demioros can easily defeat her. Beatrice's students try to help their teacher, but still, they're unable to do so as there is a lot of power difference, so they get defeated. Beatrice comes in between Demioros and her students to save them even at the cost of her own life. She surprises everyone as they ask her not to do that. Demioros uses his ability to slice Beatrice, but she is saved by Seichi at the last moment as he stops Demioros from attacking her and asks Saria and Oliga to help them. Seichi himself with anger moves towards Demioros, which frightens him as he uses the power given to him by the Demon Lord to kill Seichi, but he manages to evade every one of his moves and hits him, which causes him to fade away as well. Everyone praises Seichi for his heroic entrance and asks him where he was, and he claims that he was fighting a battle of his own. Brood and Theobald have a brotherly conversation of their own, and Theobald leaves as he acknowledges their powers. Meanwhile, in the demon dimension, 4 of the great demon apostles gather and decide to finally use their power to bring about the despise that they all desired for the great devil's resurrection, and one of them leaves to start his plan. And that's all for today. What kind of power is awakening inside Seichi? Who are these 4 demons, and how strong are they? Do let us know in the comments below, and as always, thank you so much for staying till the end. Make sure to like and subscribe to Annie Recap for more amazing content like this on your feed. With that said, see you in the next one. Peace!